it just, again, it just floors me. The one good thing, and I used to get really upset that we're doing all this research again because we had done so much research on psychedelics in the 1950s and 60s that's all been wiped out because of the war on drugs. And I was like, well, we already did this research. Why are we spending all these millions doing it again? But the great part is these brain scans. We didn't have this technology 50 years ago, and these brain scans are just phenomenal because it proves the anecdotal or the woo woo part, the stories that we can only, you know, psychedelic experience that we call it is ineffable. We can talk about it, but like people say, a lot of times people in a psychedelic experience say they saw God or they heard God or they felt the love of God, but you ask, well, how, and you can't explain it. It's just something that is, again, that's that magical woo woo part of psychedelics. But I love that we have the science now that says, okay, we believe this now because here's the science that proves that this brain activity is going crazy when you're on a psychedelic journey.
That's incredible. So I had my first psychedelic journey in my 20s, right? And it was LSD. And so I'm just telling on myself now. And 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 I remember, so I developed a hypothesis after taking it because I had gone through a devastating breakup. Like it was one of my first great loves of my life. So I thought at the time anyway. And he totally ghosted me, to be honest with you. And it was before there was a term ghosting. Okay. So this is like the mid 90s. And I didn't understand, like, as most people don't when they're ghosted. And there's this thought process that goes along with it. But I don't know if I tend to be slightly OCD, but I was ruminating so much about this that it was like, I don't know, a mental mind F, as they would say, like I was just so like, how could this person do this? We've just been together a year and they totally ghost me. Like, why wouldn't they? They were just always so honest. Why wouldn't they just tell me they wanted to break up? This is like, for some reason, I, in my life, and this is still true, have a very difficult time understanding why people do horrible things. Like, I really have a difficult time struggling with people who are toxic and do continuously toxic behaviors, even when they know that they're being harmful to someone else. So at that moment, I was really young. I think I must have been like 19 or 20. And I was really, and it was like kind of an older guy. And he must have been maybe 26 or 27. So not that much older, but I thought that he would be more mature and emotionally, and he always was very honest with me. So I thought, so I couldn't understand why he wouldn't just say, I want to end this relationship, like, be decent and just break it off. Why not just, be man up or woman up and say the truth, right? So I was stuck for months, and my friends were like, yeah, you're a broken record. Like, you've got to let this go. And I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to just stop sort of having these intrusive, obsessive thoughts about why this person treated me this way. And why would they, when I was so kind and good to them? So, and I know a lot of people struggle with this, which is why I'm sharing this story.
Good.
So, I ended up in a situation where, well, okay, I'll be completely honest. I wasn't going to tell the whole story, but so I was the girl in the 90s, and I was in the height of the underground party, as AKA rave. Okay.
Yep.
And this was my sort of escape, because also, side note, I was in the military. So I went to this underground party, and someone offered me something to keep me warm. This is an excerpt from the book. It'll someday come out. I've been writing it forever. And I didn't know what it was.